Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. That's the name which India has time again called out at several fronts, at several platforms, not just within the country but also at global platforms. And this man is coming to India. Well, Bilawal Bhutto, he would be leading the Pakistani delegation to the SCO's foreign ministers meeting to be held in Goa on May 4th and 5th this year. While Pakistan might term this as a commitment to the SCO Charter, as it would happily do, but we all know for a fact that what Pakistan shows off and what it actually does, there is a difference in that. Statistically, Bilawal's visit to India is the first of any Pakistani leader since Nawaz Sharif came here in 2014. Who is this man called Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, the family that he comes from, and its ties with India over the years? To discuss this threadbare, I have with me my colleague and strategic affairs editor for News9, Aditya Raj Kaul. Aditya, obviously this visit that we are looking at as of now in the next month or so, his visit to India, nothing to celebrate if you ask me though, because the rants that he has been going on with Bilawal specifically shows that there has been no climb down and no change in whatsoever as far as Pakistan's interest and stand against India is concerned.
Well, you're right, Pankaj. For India, it is nothing to celebrate or cheer. For Pakistan, I can't say, maybe.
Right.
The question here is that SCO, Shanghai Cooperation, is a multilateral body that was set up in Shanghai, in China, and India relatively recently became a full-time member of the same.
Right.
And, for a meeting of the SCO to take place in India is significant at a time when India is also hosting the G20.
Right.
So all the foreign players are arriving in New Delhi, and there are significant bilaterals and multilaterals that are going to take place all year round. Pakistan, on the other hand, has been completely diplomatically isolated. That is the big problem here for Pakistan. This comes at a time when not only are they politically and diplomatically isolated globally, but economically they are in a very difficult condition.
Right.
They have not received any kind of a major bailout either from China or their other iron brothers apart from China, including UAE, Saudi, Malaysia and Turkey. And Bilawal Bhutto has been going from door to door. Shehbaz Sharif has been going from door to door seeking help, some kind of a bailout or some kind of a cooperation by these so-called iron brothers. So this comes at the time when Pakistan's propaganda and its so-called diplomacy globally, including at the United Nations or other places, has completely failed. The same Bilawal Bhutto, Pankaj, has gone ranting against New Delhi, ranting against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, particularly on the question of Kashmir. He has gone to each and every forum, be it a state forum, be it a non-state forum, be it United Nations or be it any other think tanks. And the only foreign policy plan that he has spoken about is Kashmir.
Right.
It's as if Pakistan does not have any other thing to talk about its foreign policy or any of its successes, because there aren't any successes that Pakistan has achieved significantly in the last 10 years. Politically also internally, if we see, Pankaj, there is a massive crackdown that's been happening because the political alliance that is in power right now, the PDM government, which has Shehbaz Sharif leading the government and of course Bilawal Bhutto as the senior foreign minister, is of course at loggerheads with Imran Khan. We've seen the kind of street fights that are taking place. Also, the Pakistan army hasn't made up its mind whether they are supporting the PDM or they are going to again bet on Imran Khan. So SCO is a win-win situation for India because of course we are significantly playing a role at G20, at SCO and many other forums. But Pakistan, on the other hand, has been completely isolated. It does not have any kind of great alliances that are going to back for it. Even Russia or US not backing it completely. So we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold. But this is certainly not a moment for India to cheer, because India in 2019 took a very calculated call.
Right.
And this calculated call was to completely isolate Pakistan and forget Pakistan completely, because Pakistan was a menace in the region. It was a mothership of terror. It was only provoking India continuously, be it during Pulwama, be it during Uri, Pathankot, or several such attacks that have taken place in the last decade. Right. So it was a very calculated call that we have other major issues that we need to deal with. We have a foreign policy, we have a great economy, and we are world leaders in many ways. We talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. During the pandemic, India played a very significant role, while Pakistan was left begging all across the globe. So India took a calculated call that we are not interested to talk And even if there are speculations now that Bilawal will be in Goa for 2 days, will there be a bilateral? I don't think so. I don't think that India would be even interested in engaging with Pakistan. Maybe Pakistan is desperate. We'll have to wait and watch.
Well, that optics definitely we'll have to keep a close eye on, Aditya. And also talking about the background to this visit, the kind of load, the kind of pressure that Pakistani representatives will have on their shoulders as of now, because for them, obviously, this is an opportunity to show the world that, yes, they are following the charter of SCO, but back home, the situation is not helping. And especially for the foreign minister of Pakistan, who might boast or point fingers at India for any reason, but the reality is their home is in tatters, be it economically or politically, and the kind of pressure, the domestic situation there, the kind of inflation that is going there, and the people who are living there in distress. What do you believe that Bhutto will have that particular aspect also in mind to put the best foot forward in order to maybe gain some sympathy out of the global players here?
Well, Bilawal has been trying his best to gain sympathy. As I said, he has gone to US, he has gone to several other countries trying to put a positive picture of Pakistan, but this hasn't happened because now even the United States can see through the agenda of Pakistan. It can see through what is the reality of the Pakistan army, how they operate, how they played the bluff during the entire takeover of the Taliban in Afghanistan. And we'll have to realize that there is instability in Pakistan right now politically. And any political figure talking about India or closeness to India or visiting India will receive a backlash. This will be a win-win situation for Imran Khan because he will go to the public saying that I tried my best to have good relations with India, but when they did Balakot, I stopped the relations. But Bilawal, on the other hand, is visiting India. So this would be politically, a brownie score, catch-22 situation for Bilawal. But brownie points will be scored by Imran Khan because he will clearly indicate to the larger population that here is a political figure, here is the political party, here is a political coalition that is siding with India, that is visiting India for a multilateral forum and try to manipulate this narrative in his favor. Because so the entire narrative against India has become so negative in Pakistan that any political figure or a party talking about closeness is seen with that light that, this is a traitor. So we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold because Pankaj realized that in the last 7 to 8 years at least, if my memory serves me right, there hasn't been a visit of any Pakistan Prime Minister or a leading figure, including a foreign minister to India. I remember that Sushma Swaraj was going to visit Pakistan when the Uri happened, and thereafter we saw the surgical strikes happening. And ever since that, we have seen a downward trend in the relations. The MFN status was removed. The Indus Water Treaty had a lot of difficulties. The trade between the two countries suffered immensely. And finally, we had, of course, Pathankot and, of course, Uri, and finally, the Pulwama was the last nail in the coffin. After which we had Balakot, and the situation completely worsened after that. So I think 2019 was that historic moment in India-Pakistan's history when New Delhi finally decided that we are giving too much importance to Pakistan. We need to completely diplomatically and foreign policy-wise isolate them, ignore them completely because they don't respect our time and they are not responding to the positive gestures or the olive leaf that was given by Prime Minister Modi.
Absolutely, and the stand that India has taken, obviously, to block Pakistan and its overtures, which at times, tries to convey a different meaning altogether. Also, Aditya, talking about, the years gone by, be it Benazir Bhutto, Bilawal's mother, or for that matter, his grandfather, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, both of them had a relation of mistrust with India, and that particular dispensation is now at the center in coalition, obviously. Do you believe that with respect to India, Pakistan stands as of now any chance to salvage the situation from here on with his own doings or wrongdoings?
Well, I would still characterize Bilawal Bhutto as one of the leading liberal politicians in Pakistan compared to the Islamist, fascists that are there, or even Imran Khan, or to a certain extent Nawaz Sharif and others as well. Although Nawaz Sharif visited India in 2014, he participated in Prime Minister Modi's swearing-in ceremony, and that said a lot. But still, Imran Khan went against Nawaz Sharif and Shehbaz Sharif, claiming that he had closeness with India, and there was a backdoor alliance between the Nawaz Sharif government and the Modi government. But one has to realize that we are not talking about a Bhutto. Bilawal is actually a Zardari. He has taken surname from his mother and grandfather, but he's actually a Zardari. But he's trying to get influence from his mother and grandfather and trying to attack India. He's been ranting on Kashmir continuously. Even when he was in opposition, he attacked, I remember he was in Muzaffarabad and he attacked Imran Khan, saying that today we are, 10 years back, we used to talk about how we will take over Srinagar. But today we are talking about how will we save Muzaffarabad from India. So this is the kind of narrative that is shaping there. And one has to realize that it is the mistake of the Pakistan deep state and the Pakistan political establishment, be it in the government or opposition, that they have narrowed down their entire Pakistan foreign policy towards India and Kashmir. There's nothing they want to talk about economy or being world leaders or Pakistan's diaspora playing some leading role, nothing like that. So their entire focus has been on India and Kashmir. That is why for Bilawal also India visit will be a complete failure, because the Pakistani population is today looking at some kind of a bailout package. They're expecting that their economic worries and economic nightmare will end somehow. And Bilawal's India visit is certainly not going to help him either strategically or diplomatically or even perception wise, because the narrative is totally going to go against him, even though the visit will be seen very closely by foreign diplomatic observers and the media, of course, because this is after almost a decade that such an important visit is going to take place. I personally do not feel that there will be any bilateral on the sidelines, but one doesn't know how things unfold, because the economic nightmare of Pakistan continues. Will Pakistan reach out to India for some kind of a help or some backdoor negotiations that have happened even in the worst of times? One has to watch.
Well, Aditya, thank you so much for decoding the nitty-gritties as far as Bilawal Bhutto's India visit is concerned and how both the countries are poised as of now.